It's day 1 in Stavanger and we started at 6 a.m. from our apartment. Dr. Mobin was trying an electric vehicle for the first time and we both were concerned about the 140-kilometer drive ahead of us through the narrow mountainous roads of Norway to reach our destination, the Kjeragbolten trailhead. In Google Maps, the trailhead location can be found as Kjerag Parking 300 NOK and the drive would take around 3 hours from Stavanger. To be honest, no one had mentioned about how beautiful and breathtaking this road trip was going to be. Every twist and turn brought in new sights and the early morning vibes were making it more magical. While editing this video, I was totally confused about what to keep and what to remove. Otherwise, the entire video would have been about the ride. Early morning, there was no one on the road, no vehicles, no sounds, just pristine wilderness with mountains, mist, waterfalls, rivers and interestingly some sheep. Soon we entered the single-lane road. Every 50 meters or so, this road had sections where we could stop to give way to an incoming vehicle. During this section of the ride, I remembered seeing similar landscape during my road trip in Iceland and also on the train ride through Myrdal. This misty section felt truly magical and both of us kinda forgot that we were going for one of our life's most exhaustive treks. Are we on Mars or are we driving on a moon base? Such an otherworldly experience.
That looks ridiculous. So it's consciousness, man.
around 3.5 hours of cinematic ride, we have finally arrived at the Kjerag trailhead. The parking is automated. We just need to enter our license plate to pay the parking. Kjeragbolten trek is a 10-kilometer round trip and a moderately challenging one at that. There are multiple steep sections on the trek, most of which have these chains which you can use to pull yourselves up. My trek buddy soon left me in the dust as I struggled to keep up the pace. The trail is not entirely uphill. There are flat sections in between, some bouldering sections and some steps. This is by no means an easy trek like the Prickestollen trek. This one demands decent fitness, proper hiking boots and a strong will to keep going. Chained sections were especially challenging for me as my right hand is pretty much useless when it comes to holding on to things. This emergency shelter kinda marks the halfway point of the trek. Seems like from here we can take the fork to reach Florley, a roadless hamlet accessible only by ferry or on foot. Florley is popular for its 4,444 steps, the longest wooden stairway in the world. In Norway, pre-existing cairns like these are highly regulated cultural heritage and safety markers, which mountaineers use to find the correct path. It is forbidden to make new cairns as it can confuse people and lead them off path during rain or mist. Snow can be tricky to navigate as not all hiking boots are designed to be used in snow. Mine was not. Finally, I have reached Kjeragbolten, and my trek buddy was waiting for a long time to get his picture taken on the famous rock. Down there is why people trek all the way up here, the Kjeragbolten rock. The rock itself is a 5 cubic meter boulder wedged in a large crevice and is suspended above a 1 kilometer deep abyss. Getting down there was hard with all the slippery snow. I had to move very slowly as my shoe was slipping a lot.
That looks forget about looking the ball.
Finally made it. We can see people getting on and off the rock and getting their photos taken from this position. Mobin got on, but I didn't. As far as my risk appetite is concerned, this is where I draw the line. Although it looks easy from here, there is a non-negligible amount of risk involved in getting on and off the rock. The rock itself is not flat, and you gotta remember that it is a 1 kilometer drop if you lose your footing. Not my cup of tea. The Kjerag mountain overlooks the beautiful Lysefjord. Up there, base jumpers are getting ready to do their thing. Mobin got this video on his mobile while he was waiting for me. One final video of the fjord before we start our trek down. Typically with treks, getting down is easier and faster, although heavy on our knees. But this hike, you need to be extremely careful and use the chains to move down slowly. The 8-kilometer drive from Kjerag parking to Lysebotn involves navigating 27 hairpin bends. It also involves this spooky tunnel. Lysebotn is a village located at the eastern end of Lysefjord, in a very isolated valley that is only accessible by this seasonal road or by boat. The name itself means the bottom of Lysefjord. We parked our car on the line of vehicles waiting for the car ferry. We had decided not to drive back, but to take this 6 p.m. Rødne Ferry to Lauvvik, although it costs a pretty penny like everything else in Norway. Although advertised as a tourist ferry, it is basically just a normal car ferry. One-way ticket cost for a car with driver is 130 euros, with additional passengers costing 60 euros each. There is another ferry run by Kolumbus service which is much cheaper but with a lot less capacity. That one was already fully booked and didn't suit our timing. Lysefjord tourist ferry from Stavanger will also cost you around 90 euros. So taking this ferry is kinda the better deal, as it will save you the ride back and you can relax enjoying the views of the Lysefjord. Look, up there is the pulpit rock, which we'll be visiting tomorrow. Do not forget to watch that video next.